Welcome to the Soulfire Podcast, where every day we talk about real life, real shit, real raw. On this show, you can expect us to dive deep into topics like marriage, parenting, money, business, feeling like you want to give up, fighting for yourself, just straight soul healing. This podcast is all about life. Hey there, it's Power Coach Alishia here, your source of fun, funny, exciting, entertaining, and educational life coaching, transformational speaking, and soul healing. We're talking about setting your soul on fire. I specialize in helping women put themselves first without feeling guilty, getting out of their own way, and finding themselves again. No fluff, no hand-holding, no bullshit here, just love, light, and peace as we journey through this thing called life. So this episode is actually brought to you by a really, pissed off conversation that I had with a client about why she's failing in business. And although this is a live coaching podcast, I thought it was really relevant to share this live rant with you because it is the reason why you will either succeed or fail in your life. So without further ado, here's that rant. Alishia here, your source of fun, funny, exciting, entertaining, and educational soul healing and direct sales training with a twist of tough mama bear, no fluff, no hand holding, no bullshit love. I actually specialize in helping women light a fire in their soul and finding themselves again, coaching direct sellers to double, triple, and 10 times their income the smart way. Now, today I want to talk about something that it doesn't matter if you have a business. It doesn't matter if you don't have a business. If you work for someone else, it doesn't matter. Now, my examples that I'm going to be showing you are from a business perspective, but I want you to stick with me, okay, and hear the message that I want to deliver to you. So if you're watching this live with me, please say hi to me in the comments. If you are watching this on replay, please interact as if you are live. I will respond to your comments. I'm looking forward to hearing, how this connected with you and your big aha moment from what I'm going to be talking about here. So what we're talking about, you will either succeed or fail by this. Hi, Becky. Hey, Shermanda. Okay. Now this is huge. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you're talking about personal life. It doesn't matter if you're talking about business. It doesn't matter if you're talking about career, as a parent, as a partner. Okay. So stick with me. Let me start by telling you a story. Back in 2007, I joined a company called Slumber Parties. And this was my first real experience being a direct seller or with an MLM company. And I'd heard of some in the past. Amway, they had a quick star division, so I had been a part of things, but this was like my real experience, I guess, with the party plan division of direct sales MLM. And so I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to expect. I had no clue what to do. All I wanted to do was make $500 a month so that I could buy shoes without Daniel complaining. Like that was my entire goal in starting this business. Little did I know that it would end up being what paid our bills and kept a roof over our head and food on the table and helped me grieve through my stepdad's death and all of these different things, right? But at the time, it was just to make that money. And I had signed up with somebody who, for all intents and purposes, wasn't a great leader, not even a good leader. She basically was like, this is what I do. Like it was just very like nonchalant, no like step-by-step, no details, no like, this is how you can be successful as a direct seller. Now in the industry, when you sign up with somebody, you're thinking that that person is there to lead you to greatness. Can you relate to that? Like when you signed up, let's say you are in direct sales and you're watching this, or maybe you start a job, right? And you have somebody who is to train you in this position. You think that person or those people are going to lead you to success. But let me keep going with my story and then I'll go into coaching, right? You think that training or those people are going to lead you to success. So I had no fucking clue what I was doing. And so I was intending that she was going to support and help me, right? But I didn't connect with her. The way that she trained didn't connect with my personality. Like, it just wasn't working. What she would tell me to do, I wasn't succeeding at. This wasn't helping me build my business at all. And I constantly felt frustrated. So, new person in the industry, have a leader who's going to get paid off of me, and I feel frustrated. What do? I can either blame the fact that this person is making money off of me and they're not really helping me be successful, or I can go to fucking work and find somebody who's killing it and ask them to train me. So what do you guys think I did? Shout it out. Do you think that I was just like blaming her and bitching her out and you just want, to make money off of me and da 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 da? Or do you think that I went to fucking work? So shout out in the comments. Since there's a delay, I can keep going and tell you what I did. I went to fucking work. I went and found someone who could lead me. They weren't making direct money off of me. They just happened to be above my upline. And she became my mentor in the industry in helping me. But there were still roadblocks of things that she would tell me to do and ways that she would lead me that I would not get the success from. I wouldn't get the results from that I saw her getting. And so it was up to me to go to work and research and go to trainings and YouTube videos and blogs and everything that I could, live events, to find all these different ways that people were doing things and start seeing what actually worked on a regular basis. All right. So at a point, it became onto me to make this happen. So I went on to, on average, sell $10,000 a month in slumber parties. My first year in, I was the #1 new consultant. And in the entire company of all the new people that started that year, I thought I was going to get #3 because I knew I was hot shit and I was fucking killing it. And so I'm sitting at this award ceremony, #3 is announced. And I'm really fucking bummed. But I go, okay, maybe I made #2. I knew that I should have been #3. #2's announced. And in that exact moment, I knew that I was #1. #1, Alishia Willardson. It was crazy. Everybody was like freaking out. I was freaking out. I was shocked. It was crazy shit. Walk across the stage, get this award, #1 new consultant. Would have never happened if I would have sat on my ass blaming someone else for the fact that I was not succeeding because I was not getting the results and because we didn't jive in the way that she was teaching. It would have never happened if the mentor that I found and the things that weren't working with her, I just said, well, this is shit. This industry sucks. Like nobody, can help. And, only the upper 1% is going to be successful and da, 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 da. And I blamed my leader for my failures. I would have never, ever, ever been walking across that stage a year later. I took that ownership and I went to fucking work. Fast forward to 2012, I'm sitting in my car in the driveway and I'm listening to Anthony Robbins. And at this time, I had been listening to a lot of Anthony Robbins. And he was saying this whole training was to get you to take action. And so I'm sitting in the driveway listening because, this coaching session is at its climax. And I'm like, I just can't shut it off. And he says, okay, so right now, what are 2 actions that you need to take to move forward on your dreams? And at the time, the only thing I could think about that was engulfing me was being a high paid speaker. That's still my soul's calling, is to be a high paid speaker. So what are 2 actions? So I get out of the car. I know what 2 actions I'm going to take. And I realize that in order for me to follow my dreams, I have to let go of what I've been doing. However, I'm the sole breadwinner for my family at this time. And so me just going, oh, I'm going to go be a high paid speaker, that means that everything starts over, right? So let me push pin that because that's really stops right there. That would go into a different story. In 2012, I also made the decision to leave slumber parties and move to pure romance. I was one of the first 700 consultants to move from slumber parties to pure romance, break my contract, and I was part of the people who were in the initial lawsuit. So Slumber Parties was definitely a company that I feel like you were more a number, that you weren't cared about as much as a human, that the comp plan wasn't very amazing for you as the person running the business. It wasn't as phenomenal and connected and humanized as Pure Romance. That was my reason for my change. Was Pure Romance had an unbelievable comp plan. I could give myself a $400 or $500 a month raise doing nothing different, just shifting companies. That was the main reason why I moved, because that would have been better for my family. I could do the same amount of work and make more money. And as the breadwinner, grinding like a motherfucker, to me, that was a no-brainer. But what I didn't realize is that when I shifted from Slumber Parties to Pure Romance, that I would lose everyone. Hi, Erica. I would lose all of my friends, the people who felt like family. And all of a sudden, I felt like a number. I felt like I wasn't loved. I felt like everything that was real was fake. I had this like horrible taste in my mouth, and it was just such a hard time. I felt like I was grieving the loss of everyone who I thought loved me. Now, the hindsight is people were upset that I didn't tell them that I was moving and that I didn't come to them and just have that conversation. And so that's where the disconnect happened. But in the moment, that's not what I felt, and that's not what connected with me, right? When I moved into Pure Romance, my leader was unbelievable. Hi, Tessa. She was the best of the best. She fucking was so unbelievable. The company gave so much more to the consultants, still do today. It's like 80% of, hi Morgan, what they bring in goes back to the consultants. They really take care of their consultants. They are very big on high quality products, like just so much. It was such a day and night difference from one company to the other. It was unbelievable. But I have a secret to tell you. When I moved from Slumber Parties to Pure Romance, I never had the same level of success in Pure Romance as I did in Slumber Parties. Did you hear what I said? In Slumber Parties, I didn't quite have the support. I didn't quite have the leadership. The way the company wasn't as amazing, right? They didn't give to us in those levels. The comp plan wasn't as amazing. There wasn't as much given, but I had more success. Over here, there was way more given, way more care, way more connectedness, way more love, way more just phenomenalness as far as leadership, all the way from my leader all the way up. But I didn't do as good in the company that gave me more as I did in the company where I felt like I had less. Hi, Shannon. Pushpin to Pure Romance. Let's go back to Slumber Parties. I was on this trip that I had earned. I'm in a beach house in Pensacola, Florida, and I'm with the creme de la creme of Pure Romance, people who are advisory board members, or not Pure Romance, excuse me, Slumber Parties, advisory board members, presidential board members, just like the best of the best. And the only way I got there is because I killed it in fucking sales. Like, that's why I was at this retreat that I had won. Everything was all expense paid. My flight, the house we stayed in, all of our food, like we had nothing we had to pay for. So there's one night where we're all sitting around. I think it was like a 3-nighter. And it was the last night we were all there. We're all sitting around. We're talking about business. Now, pay attention, because these are upper high-level leaders sitting in the room with me, okay? I'm not an upper high-level leader. I'm just a badass salesperson sitting in this room. We're talking about our different business practices, and we happen to land on hostess coaching. And everybody's talking about what they do to coach their hostesses. And I mentioned that I actually don't ever call my hostesses. I do all my hostess coaching via text. And this must have been 2008, 2009 timeframe. And I guess she was maybe the second highest level recruiter in the company, maybe third, very high in sales, definitely higher than me in sales. She looks at me and says, I would never be your hostess because you text me. How disgusting. You can't pick up the phone and call. Oh my God, I would never do a party for you. She embarrassed me in front of 8 other people who were sitting and watching this happen. It was so unbelievably horrible that I got up and I went upstairs and I called my mentor, the one I went in search for, to help lead me. And I'm crying and I'm so upset and I'm so frustrated. And she says, Alishia. I'm like, yeah. And she goes, what are your sales right now? And I said, 7,000, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, and you did that by texting your hostesses? And I said, yes. And she goes, they're just jealous because you're having the success that you're having doing what you do, and they are doing it differently. You do you because you're killing it, right? In that moment, a leader could have destroyed my love and connection. Yes? Shout out in the comments, right? Could have destroyed my love and connection for my business and to run it. But there's one thing, well, this isn't the one thing I want to tell you about today, because we're going to get to that in a minute. There's one thing that I didn't give her. And that was the power to destroy my business, to destroy my confidence, to destroy my dedication. I was upset and I cried, but I didn't allow her to derail me. I knew my truth. I was just fucking pissed because when I don't speak my truth, I cry. I should have fucking put her in her place and been a bitch, but I didn't. And so I internalized it, made me cry, right? It could have derailed everything for me. One bad leader, but it didn't. Because I knew that I was killing it. I went to somebody who could reinforce, but it goes deeper. So policies and procedures of a company, whether it's your direct sales company or the company that you work for in your career. Specifically with slumber parties, pure romance, actually any adult party company, unless they're in a different state than these states that don't have this rule, you cannot have men at parties. So therefore, without having men at parties, there was a whole slew of people who would say, if I could just have men at parties, then I would be so much more successful. But because I can't, because slumber parties doesn't allow that, I'm not as successful. Wait a second. Number one new consultant in the company. Trip after trip after trip. $10,000 plus per month in retail sales. Personal retail sales. No men at my parties. What do you think the difference between that person who thinks that the policies and procedures are stopping them from being successful and me was? It's time for you to get unstuck and put yourself first without feeling guilty. Listen, I've been there before, and I wish someone would have told me how to do it when I was attempting to do it all, giving everything of myself to other people and burning myself out. Luckily for you, you have me, and I've already been through all of that, so I can help you. For a limited time only, my free Get Unstuck Masterclass is open for enrollment, which was designed to help you go from chaos to calm in all areas of your life. This training will help you learn how to put yourself first without feeling guilty, eliminate overwhelm, and stop people pleasing. It's seriously a no-brainer if you want to get unstuck and start living the life you love. And like I said, it's free. To sign up, go to getunstuck.soulhealingzone.com. Again, that's getunstuck.soulhealingzone.com. What's the difference? This is the core of why I'm doing this live right now. So shout out in the comments, what's the difference? I can't have men at parties. The company is holding us back. If we could just do that. I'm over here going, right? Paying my bills. I'm working my fucking ass off over here. Don't get me wrong. I'm grinding like a motherfucker to provide a living for my family, but I'm killing it. What's the difference? I want to know from you guys. So the reason why I'm doing this live, man, you got it, didn't you? The reason why I'm doing this live is because, and I don't know if she'll watch this, but whatever. There was this conversation that happened in Messenger over the last few days about how MLMs and direct sales companies, they don't care about you. They just want your money. They don't give a shit whether or not you succeed. Leaders are making, millions or whatever. The upper 1% of your company is making all of this money. They don't care to lead their teams. They just want a paycheck. She hates the fact that they have low minimums. And in order to meet their monthly sales, in order to get their check, this entire story is just on and on and on and on and on about The reason why she / other consultants can't be successful is because of the leaders and because of the companies and because of their attitudes towards their consultants. The reason why I told you all of those stories first, or that entire story with chunks of timeline in there, is because look at what the company did to me. Look at how my leadership was. Look at the way the top leaders of the company were treating me. Look at what happened to me when I moved from slumber parties to pure romance, and the way I was ostracized and cast out into darkness as the Mormons do here in Utah, right? But look at how I was way more successful in the face of adversity opposed to when I had mostly on a silver platter. The difference is mindset. The difference is attitude. Okay, that was the difference. That's why in pure romance, I didn't have the same results. I was on my way out. I didn't care as much. I wasn't putting in that effort. I wasn't showing up the same way. I wanted to move on to bigger and better things. That is no fault of pure romances when they are an unbelievable freaking company still to this day. That was no fault of them that is where that went. But let me tell you another story. And this one is worse. When I started LuLaRoe in 2016, the person I went into the queue under was fucking shit. She was the worst leader I have ever had in my godforsaken life. Like complete shit. She had no steps, no information, no help, no handouts, no processes, no fucking nothing. She was horrible. So I told her, like, I need help and you are not giving me any help. I was pissed that she got the check from me because she did nothing to help me. Same thing with slumber parties. I was pissed that my upline got the check from me because she didn't do enough to help me. Difference, one didn't do enough, one didn't do shit, right? Oh, but I let that affect me. And LuLaRoe, let's be real, wasn't the best company to be a consultant for. They had so many things. As a baby company, they had so many things they were doing wrong. They talked to us like we were fucking children. They had policies and procedures in place that really were fucked up and caused so much issues for us. You want to know what I did? I moved through the leadership ranks. I did $40,000 plus per month in personal retail sales. Attitude, mindset. There isn't a company, a leader, a process that will hold you back unless you allow them to. There is nothing that can happen around you that's going to stop you unless you allow it to. So this conversation with this person really ended in, we're going to agree to disagree, because I 100% disagree with the fact that you are where you are because of someone else. Period. Outside of business, outside of just, honing in on life coaching, whatever. You are where you are because of you, your attitude towards it, your effort towards it, the way you work through it, who you give your power, the action you take or don't take. It is 100% your fucking fault on your shoulders, good or bad. And that is why I had to end that conversation. Because when you walk through life and you put your mishaps, your backsteps, your not being able to's on other people, that's bullshit. Go look in the fucking mirror. It's on you. It's on you. Health issues aside, divorces aside, deaths aside, births aside, if you want it, you'll fucking fight and you'll have it. Your attitude towards it will lead you there. And your attitude towards it will destroy it. That is why I wanted to share with you today this entire topic. Because it doesn't matter what your company is, day job, business-wise. It doesn't matter what they do or don't do. It doesn't matter how good or bad it was. It doesn't matter about the leadership you have or don't have. It matters what the fuck you are going to do day in and day out. That action that you are going to take and how hard you're going to hit. There is nothing harder in the business world than starting your own fucking business. In this conversation with this person, she believes that that's the best route for her. She's going to be so much more successful that way. But then starts with the reason why she doesn't have one is because she doesn't have the money. Attitude will lead to your destruction. Because she has the attitude that she doesn't have the money, she will never get to where she wants to be. And let me also say that if she did have the money, she wouldn't spend it in the right ways to have the success that she needed to have anyways, so her business would fall apart, all because of the attitude towards it. This isn't about if I go work for another company. No, Tessa, but I'm glad this is hitting home, babe. If I go work for another company, I'm going to go from Comcast to CenturyLink because Comcast is a fucking shit show and because they're big monsters, they don't care about their employees. So I'm going to move to CenturyLink. But when you get to CenturyLink, you realize how fucking unorganized they are and how they have all of these problems that they're going through and da-da-da-da-da. What do? Now what do? You're going to move to another company? Oh, let's move to a middle one who your boss micromanages you and talks down to you and you don't get the support you need, so you're constantly getting in trouble in your position. Holy fuck, people. It's you. It's you. You're the problem. You don't need to move from Comcast to CenturyLink to fucking middleman. What do you need to do in the middle to get your shit together, to be at the best that you can be in that space? And then if you decide to move, you move because you want better. You want this person to get even more because you earned it. Let me make this clear. You don't deserve success in life, in business, and career if you're not willing to put your shit together, fucking fight for it, and get your mind right about it. Your attitude is, I always say, 100% of success because you can fuck your way through anything, right? Whatever. Like, I have no clue what I'm doing, but we getting it done, right? Good attitude, good dedication, good work, no blaming, no sitting around pissing and moaning and victim mentality. You're gonna get there. You're gonna eventually find the skills and put them together, one thing after another. But mark my words. If you have a bad fucking attitude, you will never find the right things and you will never put them together and your life will never get together and your career will always suck and your business will always fail. Because no matter where you put me, I always succeed. I always succeed. Unless I decide I don't want to. My mom always says this. Everything you touch turns to gold. That's because when I touch it, I'm ready for it to be gold. But when I'm done with it, it's over. That's it. It's no longer gold. It's worthless. So I hope that this has given you a fire perspective in your soul. This isn't about anybody or anything else. This is about you. And let me kind of bring the stories that I told you back home. I am an unbelievable leader. When I build a team in the direct sales industry, I have the badass. They have a 6-week new consultant power start. Week 1, do this. Week 2, do that. Week 3, do that. I'm there for them every step of the way. And I re-record all of that training for whatever company I'm with. I had it with Pure Romance. I created it with LuLaRoe. If you joined my team, you had what you needed. Do you know, as the best motherfucking leader I could be, so many people still failed. You're talking 85% of my team still quit and still failed. So if it's leadership that is the problem, why is there still failure? Must be the person's attitude towards it. Think about that. I want you to think about that. I know I'm an unbelievable leader. You're not going to join my team and feel like you don't have that support and help. You're not going to join my team and not know what the fuck to do. I'm a fucking coach. I'm a trainer. So you join my team and you got what you need. But do you? Because your attitude is 100% of your success. So with a shitty attitude, you get shitty results. So with all that being said, I'm very, very, very strong about not only in the direct sales MLM industry, but in life. When you walk around in life complaining and blaming everyone else and everything else for the fact that you aren't, you can't, you haven't done, you're the fucking problem. I don't care how big of a fighter you are. I don't care that you didn't give up in your darkest days and that you're still here fighting. That doesn't matter if the fight is shit. That doesn't matter if you walk around being a victim, telling the same stories, complaining and blaming everyone else for the fact that you're not there. It only is amazing for you if you use those stories and what you've been through and that journey to rise higher and higher and higher and higher. Otherwise, they're just fucking stories you tell people to make yourself feel good because you didn't give up. You not giving up is not enough. You gotta grow. You gotta learn. You gotta fight to move through to the next level version of you. Wherever you are in life, whatever the fuck you're doing, business, no business, career, no career, in your marriage, as a parent, in friendships, it all takes an exuberant amount of work and effort. And it all takes the attitude for it to show up the way you want it. So, the one thing that is your success or failure is your attitude. And I will fight that to the day I die. So leave this live, leave this training, and tell yourself, like, how am I playing so small in my attitude that it's holding me back? And what is it that I need to do to get to that next level so that I'm going higher and higher and higher and higher? And don't ever, ever, ever let it be okay again to sit in your shit and blame everyone else. Don't ever let that be a thing for you ever again. So I have 3 ways, and this goes back into business, but I do have 3 ways that if you want help and you want support getting into the next level of your business, I have my 90-day biz plan, which is the best place to start, is mapping out your business for 90 days, the elements that need to be there, and what you're really missing in your business. So if you would like help with your 90-day biz plan, you can just throw down 90 in the comments, and we can, do that. I have a free Booking Parties Made Easy masterclass. The replay is only available for a couple of days. So if you'd like to jump into that replay, I kicked your ass with massive firepower and energy about your mindset around booking parties, how to shift that and get better results. If you want access to that free masterclass, type bookings in the comments. The third thing is my Book 5 Parties in 5 Days workshop coming up on January 24th. For in 5 days, the action that you're going to be taking is all about getting 5 parties booked on your calendar. If you would like access to that, you can type workshop. So I'm here holding my hand out saying, hey, here's some options for you. You've got the free option. You've got a couple paid options. Totally up to you of what you want to do. But no matter what you do when you leave here, your attitude must shift in a way where you're actually fighting for yourself, in a way that is actually fucking powerful, where you're not just sitting there saying that you want different, that you want more, that you want better, but you can't have it because you're sick. You can't have it because your partner's an asshole. You can't have it because you're in the middle of divorce, or because someone died, or because there was a baby born, or because your leader sucks, or because the policies and procedures of your company. Yeah, sometimes it makes it a little bit harder. Life is hard, so what you gonna fucking do? So that is what I leave you with. I hope you love this. This video is public. You could feel free to share it. And yeah, if you need any help or support, shoot me a message here on Facebook. I'm happy to help you and support you in whatever you need. I hope you have an unbelievable weekend, and we'll see you later. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Soul Fire podcast. I truly appreciate you taking out your time to be here. I would love it if you would subscribe and share. And at the end of each episode, head over to community.soulhealingzone.com. Again, that's community.soulhealingzone.com, and share with me, what was your number 1 takeaway? What really connected with you? What got your fire lit? What was something that you absolutely loved about this episode? I cannot wait to continue creating more episodes with you, connecting with you, and helping you through this journey on this thing called life. I'll see you later.